Simi, for coming. So
Ah, my pleasure.
this is a show which started because people were feeling scared at home. They couldn't make sense of why they were supposed to be at home. So I am in deep gratitude that you have accepted my invite today. Again, everybody who is coming here, I've known them at some time and they are my friends. So Simi is a very beautiful person. I've known her, in fact, not just me. My family knew her family. My Nana knew her family, and they have actually had socialization together and connected together. So Simi is a very dear friend. She brings back memories of Ludhiana and Punjab for me. She's an amazing human being. Even in the worst of the times, I've seen her always smiling. I've never seen her have a frown on her face and say, "Oh, I can't do this." She's very practical. She will go ahead and move ahead in her life and do whatever she wants to. And I'm really amazed with her potential to keep herself motivated all the time. So thank you, Simi, for coming here. Thank you for your presence and thank you for your friendship. So over
Oh,
to
thank
you.
you very much
Over to
for
you.
that wonderful introduction. And I will talk about Anu at the end of my presentation. We'll keep that for the best for the last. So, like Anu had said in the write up about me, I host a radio show which is called Jo Fit Hai, Wo Hit Hai. So, like I said, this is the title of my radio show. I host this radio show because I am a fitness instructor as well. So, if I translate this title into English, it simply means if you're fit, you're a hit. So, 13 years ago, when I came up with this title, at that time I thought fitness was limited only to physical fitness. However, over the years, as I've grown up with different kinds of experiences, the scope of fitness has grown larger and larger. So let me start step by step how the canvas has gotten bigger. Physical fitness, this is according to me. So everything is in first person because I'm talking about myself and my experiences. The whole idea is that if you can draw motivation from it during these times, it'll be great. And if it does help you to think differently and in a better way, that would be wonderful. So, like I said, let me start step by step how the canvas got bigger. So, talking about physical fitness first. So, this, according to me, is the very first step which helped me feel good about myself. I was never really a fat person throughout my childhood, in my growing up days, or as a young adult. I was always a very happy person. Nothing ever bothered me. I ate what I liked. And life in those days was a much simpler place, you know. The food was simple and you just had normal food with lots of fruits thrown in, and that was food to you. But to me personally, food was never really a high point. I played lots of games and thoroughly enjoyed them. I guess that's why I was a thin person. Now, there's a reason why I'm explaining all this. I will come to that later. The first time that I saw myself fat was after I had delivered two children. That's when I actually started to work out. And when I started to work out, I started realizing that how I deeply enjoyed these fitness pursuits. And the good part suddenly was that I lost all the postnatal fat. Or let's say like that from a very thin person, now I had a great figure thanks to my children. So here what I want to emphasize is the reality of the positive changes that came into my life. Yes, again, conditions do apply to what brought about those changes. There was discipline in exercise, there was regularity in exercise. Along with that, there was also a lot of happiness in what I did. I have always been a person who had loved physical activity, so my workouts were a happy challenge. I took them on with delight. I looked forward to each and every day of my workouts. Again, I would like to highlight that I was not jumping on the weighing scale every day to see where I had reached. There was fun in the journey where I was. I was enjoying my workouts. I was enjoying the challenge of being stronger. I mean, in India, if you're not really compelled to do certain jobs. You will never be challenged to know whether you're a strong person or you're not physically. Of course, the other parameters will come they'll come in your life as well. But physically, to know that how much strength you have is really a great challenge to feel, and to know that, yes, if I'm not able to pick this weight today, I can do it. And you practice picking something much lighter before you reach that heavier point. So again, getting physically fit was really a very big turning point in my life. Because from being just a journalist, I also became a fitness instructor. So to cut the long story short, as luck would have it, I combined all the things that I loved doing into this radio show, Jo Fit Hai, Wo Hit Hai. I loved writing, so I wrote my scripts. I loved working out, so I wrote about fitness, and I continue to teach fitness. So following these fitness pursuits for myself was very different from being an instructor. What did I learn from this experience of following it on one hand for myself and being a fitness instructor to somebody else? This is what I would like to share with you today. Any activity, or especially physical activity, if it's laced with anxiety, where am I reaching? Have I reached there? Is literally asking, if you're traveling, opening the window every 5 minutes. Am I there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? You know for sure if you're going to listen to that question, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Everybody around you is going to be fed up. And can you imagine what is going on inside you at that point of time when you're asking yourself that question every 5 minutes, every 2 days, and you're jumping on that weighing scale, which is not showing you any difference? Of course, it's a different story that, you see better results in front of you in the mirror than on the weighing scale. The figure that you see on the weighing scale is purely imaginary. The real figure is in front of your eyes, which is what, as an instructor, you're always trying to teach people and, guide them to that point. And if your fitness goals and your fitness pursuits are laced with happiness, with joy, you're going to get it very soon. And you'll be saying, oh my God, I've reached here. I didn't even know that I've just suddenly reached here. So this is the beauty of it all. That is the simplicity, is like how happy you are in doing what you are doing. And we know that today that there is never only one path in achieving your physical fitness goals. There are many. You can choose any activity you like. You can choose any game you like if you don't like workouts in a gym. And you can choose any eating pattern. There are so many of them available out there. If you don't like one aspect, there are 10 others. But the point is that you will have to go through all of them to know what you like. So this has been a very important part for me in my life, where I realized that how achieving those fitness goals empowered me to think onto other platforms as well. Now I would like to move on to the other aspects of fitness, such as emotional fitness and spiritual fitness. In my opinion, it is very easy to get hold of yourself emotionally when you have successfully taken charge of your physical fitness. Because physical fitness lays down a good groundwork for your emotional stability. I will repeat that again. Physical fitness lays down a good groundwork for your emotional stability. At this point, it will be out of context to say that despite being physically fit, I did emotionally fall flat on my face when I lost my mother. Anu sat with me for days on end in a therapy till the time I finally said, oh, my mother was sick and thank God her suffering has ended. Before that, did I fall into a hellhole? Yes, I did. So how did my physical fitness help me? I must say, dear friends, that our bodies have great awareness. My body had enjoyed the challenge of physical strength day after day earlier. And at that certain level, today, when I was going through that emotional, let's say, problems, my body was seeking emotional strength. So I knew one thing, that if I had needed certain things to be physically fit, I had used tools like exercise and food to achieve those goals. I had to seek emotional help. So I turned to Anu for emotional support. So she introduced me to EFT, drawings, family constellation. We went through a lot of EFT and drawings to come to a conclusion which was hard for me to accept. So as days went by one, each of them brought more and more clarity to me and helped me get out of that emotional mess or helplessness. And the process still continues. It's not that it's over. It's never going to be over. So I'm not leaving it abrupt, but I'm moving on now to the next step and the next phase. The next phase for me has been spiritual fitness. Even though I have been talking about each of these levels separately, they always have been entwined with each other forever. Once again, how did I grow spiritually? Is when I was seeking to be calm. This challenge is there every day, whether I get riled up in the house because someone is talking back to me, or some staff is not listening to me, or to a day like these days when we all started with COVID, the big question was, if people like myself are dependent on having certain kind of classes or certain kind of work to earn money, and they're not going to happen today, what are we going to do with our time? So you come to a point where spirituality starts helping you, because the first thing you have to understand, and your body and your mind has to understand over there, is that you have to be calm. And today, this challenge is there every day for a lot of us. So what are we going to do then? If we fail, if we are seeking that challenge to be calm at a time where things have disrupted. I mean, and these days lives have come to a standstill still. So how do I behave with myself? That is the question. That was the question that I was asking myself. Do I torture myself by being a complaint box? Once again, no. So again, when we, meaning I was at some point earlier than these COVID times, when I have felt the need to be very calm, and I have felt helpless, that I am not calm. I have a lot of anxiety. There is helplessness. What did I do? I did look for tools, and I picked up some really good tools such as pranic healing and chanting. And now these days in COVID times, even gardening. So in my opinion, there is always a shifting balance between all these three, whether it's physical, it's emotional, or it's spiritual. We don't know where the challenge is going to come from next. So where am I today? If I'm going to all the time, I know that, we're going to be challenged in one way or the other. So I think today where I see myself is, I don't ever want to say that, oh, I have achieved this. I may have done certain things. Yes, I will say that, yes, this is what I'm doing and this is what I've done. But to suddenly say and feel that confidence in yourself that I have done this, I have achieved it is the right word, is not something that I will use for myself. I will say, and I believe in that in life, everything is work in progress, whether it's physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I will never say, okay, this is it. Now we are like, I've reached this great point. So life is a wonderful journey. Everything is work in progress. And in this work in progress, one of the nicest things that has come is with everything, whether it's been EFT, whether it's been physical fitness, whether it's been chanting, whether it's been pranic healing, family constellations, is that you suddenly develop a sense of calmness. You know that there is a universe out there which has its own plan. Some things you can understand, And some things you may not understand why they're helping, why they're happening. Do you need answers for them? Yes, we want answers, but we're not going to get certain answers. But the important thing is, in those times, not to feel helpless and to stay without anxiety. So Anu has helped me a lot. And a big thank you to Anu today also for giving me a chance to reflect on my life. So thank you, Anu, for helping me go through those times when I have felt helpless. And today, thanks to you, I don't feel helpless.
Thank you so much. I mean, that's very big. So I was telling someone I seem to be creating closures in some form by creating this program, which just started from nothing. So yeah, you saying those words somewhere make me feel that you're more empowered, and stay that way, because you're very precious in my life, have always been. For people who don't know, her father is very, very unwell, and look at the smile on her face. She means it when she says that she has left it to the universe. She means every word. And that's the beauty of this girl. She has never sat down and, it's like, it's not that problems don't happen here, but she doesn't take it in the way that others do. And that difference makes a difference between you being helpless and you being empowered. Thank you so much, Simi, for that amazing, amazing talk. Any questions, guys? If you have any questions, put it on the chat box. Thank you. It was very, very empowering. Guys, please go and put your questions, if you have any, on the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask questions. Okay. Thank you, Simi. Thank you, Simi, is all they're coming up with. Awesome, ma'am. Okay, wonderful. Okay, we could do this. We could, if you have any questions, do you have any questions, or was it very clear? Let's love and respect you, ma'am. And
thank you very much.
Yeah. Sana has just lost her brother. Lovely. Thank you, Simi ji. Yeah. ऐसे नहीं कि आंसू नहीं है, पर ऐसे नहीं कि हम रोते रहते हैं. और बढ़िया बात तो यह है कि इनको दिल से जीना आता है. ये भी अगर आप थोड़ा सा सीख लिए तो आज शायद जिंदगी बहुत अच्छी हो जाएगी. So to just say that she is somebody who knows how to live life. Thank you, Simi, for being on our show. People are just putting beautiful comments over there and beautiful feedback over there. I will send it across to you, all the feedback, so you can have it. Yes. So we will now. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Good night, Simi. Would you like to stay for the show? You're most welcome.
I'm a person who sleeps very early at night, and I get up very early as well.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you again. Bye-bye.